Oh, what is going on? Awesome course architects and party peeps. It's Dr. Sonia here with Jump First, and I'm going to bring this really quickly is how to build back better without starting over because you don't necessarily need to start all over again in order to build better. There have been several iterations or evolutions of Jump First and Jump First Academy, should I say, and it all happened in real time without me necessarily needing to start completely over. And so I want to bring that today of how to actually do this, build back better, especially if you're in a space where you feel like you tried some strategies, you tried some things that aren't necessarily getting you the results that you want, and you're wondering exactly why this is happening. Right? Or why you're not getting to the result as quickly as you like. If you don't know what I do here, my name is Dr. Sonia. I talk all things premium courses, whether they be online or face to face. How to take your knowledge, wisdom, life experiences, turn them into the format of courses, luxury coaching, mentorship, brands, and programs so that you can get your message out to the world because you are not supposed to stay what? You are not supposed to stay local. You're supposed to be global. Okay, let's get into it real quick. So throughout these 7+ years of launching Jump First, so Jump First was actually launched in 2016. Well, I should say it was formed in 2016. I didn't actually launch until 2018. But since then, there have been several evolutions, several iterations of programming, and what I guess visions of what Jump First and Jump First Academy has been or was becoming today. Okay. So there's that. And we are still reiterating, we are still evolving, we are still creating programs and all of these things. And so these things are happening in real time. So if you are in a place or position where you feel like you have started building but you're not at the place that you envisioned in the first place, right? Like this isn't really where it's not that it's going to keep going, but it's not that you are stopping anytime soon, but it's also you're not where you thought you would be. And it's not necessarily that you're not making progress. I'm not talking about that, not where I thought I should be. I'm talking about like the programming, the products, the services, the sales don't necessarily look like what you thought they would look like for your business or some of your personal goals. Here is how we build back better without starting over. This hit me at the gym today. Of course, I've been studying this over the last probably few weeks or so. And so I started studying because my weight has increased, right? The amount of weight that I'm able to lift at the gym has increased significantly and continues to increase. But I started thinking, like, based on my goals, and here's where you really have to evaluate what are your actual goals. Instead of throwing things at a wall and hoping something sticks, which a lot of people do when they do not have a very defined particular goal. There are influencers, there are people out here who will tell you that you don't need a goal, you just need to do stuff. Okay, you just need to enjoy the process. There's a difference between enjoying the process and enjoying the journey and actually knowing what you're striving toward, what you're working towards. A lot of influencers and people who tell you that you don't need goals are people who have achieved some pinnacle of success and they're kind of coasting, they're comfortable where it is that they are, but they still have goals. Right? You follow me? Even if they haven't identified, even if you haven't clearly defined what it is that you're working towards, there's something that you want. Okay. There's a result that you want, a specific outcome that you want. And it's your job to clearly identify and define that. That's first and foremost. What is it that you are working on? The other day, I did a quick live, and you can go check it out on this channel, Jump First Academy. And it was about how everyone in the gym is on their own journey, right? I was on the Stairmaster and I was like watching people use different machines for different things, different foot placements, and different goals. Again, you got to know what your goal is and you got to completely block out. It doesn't matter what anybody else is working on, what anybody else's goal is, you know what yours is. So we can be two people doing a squat, okay? And the way that our foot placement is, whether our feet are closer together, then it's quad focused, right? Or our feet are further apart, then we know it's booty focused, right? Glute focused. And so it's one of those things where it just depends. And it also, I guess there are like variations in between there. I'm not a certified personal trainer, so I don't really know all the things. I just know what has been working for me and what I have been studying. And so with that being said, we can do the same movement, do the same motion, but be targeting different muscles, be targeting different things, have different goals in mind. And it's the same thing when it comes to your business. It's the same thing when it comes to your personal goals. What is it that you are working on? You have to clearly define that. And so this morning in the gym, I was like thinking about it, and I've been studying the science behind mind muscle connection, right? And for a long time now. I've always been athletic, but I haven't gone deep into the study of mind muscle connection until recently. And I'm like, well, what are the benefits of doing the exercises without the weights? Why not? It's not starting over, it's building from where you currently are. Now there's a different focus. Now there's a different goal, right, in mind. So the mind muscle connection for me has to happen sometimes without all the weight that I've been using. It's not to say that I have to go to zero weight, but let's say that I did. Am I truly starting over or am I building from where I currently am? I'm still who I am, right? I still have the muscle that I have, it's just a different goal in mind. So with a different goal in mind, there will probably be more, it may not even be a different strategy because I may still do squats, right? Same motion, but the goal changes the direction. All right. So your goal is so important. I need to say that again. The goal changes the direction, it changes the focus. So that is why it's so important for you to identify clearly and define clearly what it is that you desire, what it is that you want, because that will change your focus. That will cause you to, some things will become irrelevant. If it's not relevant to the goal, right, we don't really bring it into focus. So that's why people have different perspectives, because people have different goals. People have different lenses that they're viewing things from, different outcomes, different results. And so that's exactly it. So that hit me today at the gym, and I thought I would bring it here because depending on what your goals are, you do not need to start from the bottom. You don't need to start from scratch. You don't need to start completely over. You just start from where it is that you currently are. And with a clearly defined goal, you have a different lens to look through. And there, that way you start to filter everything that you're doing and not doing through that lens. All right. If you need help with this, check out jumpfirstacademy.org. Okay. In the comments, in the description, I went ahead and let me go ahead and remove this person. I went ahead and dropped it in the description. I appreciate the positivity here. Okay. This is a place of community, and we're all about premium courses. We're all about building entrepreneurship, building together. And so, if that is your vibe, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notification so you know when new episodes like this drop. And also send this to somebody else who is interested or needs some inspiration and some positivity on today. Okay. I appreciate y'all for keeping it positive on this channel. If this is not your vibe, then go find it. All right. I love y'all so much. In the description, there are links, there are resources available to help get you started. If you've been interested in creating courses or packaging your story, jumpfirstacademy.org. I'm also launching something very, very cool. It went out to the wait list last night, so I'm super excited about it. It will go out to the general public, my email list first, of course. So if you're not on the email list, you can grab a resource at jumpfirstacademy.org that will get you on the email list, or you can email us at hello@jumpfirst.org. Okay. And that way we'll go ahead and add you to the email list. But I have something very special that is coming out that is really around the things that are happening behind the scenes, behind the strategy, and why the strategy works so well. All right. So I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited to launch it, to announce it, all those things. In the meantime, in between time, again, thank you for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. I'm super excited. Thank you for all the new subs as well. And if you're returning, okay, welcome back as always. Always much love to y'all. Have an amazing, amazing day today. And hopefully this resonates and inspires you forward. I'll catch you back here next time. Have an amazing day. Bye, y'all.